In this segment, we want to cover some improvements that have been made to the inventory snapshot display screen. That is PTF 12605. We've added a date range and total dollar value at the top. The navigation is below 417. We'll walk you through that in just a moment. The file name, in case anybody is interested in writing a query or getting information out of this particular file, the inventory snapshot file has been in the system for probably 4 or 5 years, I think. The file name is HIJOCPP for those who like to write queries. Basically, what's in there is a snapshot of your items by warehouse for each date that you close in the DAX system. And so it's a good way to go back and look at what the price was on a given date or a certain cost value, how many you had on hand. There's a lot of rich information inside of that file. Let's look at the actual change that was made in this particular PTF. Let me pull that up. And it's not there, but it is over here. So to get there, 4 for inventory system, then a 1 for inventory control, and then option 7 is the thing we're talking about here. Display inventory snapshot. Let's take a look at that. So as you can see, for those that are not familiar with this screen, just a quick thumbnail on it. Item number warehouse. What we've added is a date range and the ability to actually query some data out right from the screen based off of some criteria enter at the top. When we look at a given item, let's just grab, let's see if we have any sales here for this. All right, so we have sales dollars. So what you'll see, each date by warehouse, by item number, what your standard sale unit was at that point in time, the standard buying unit, the date this record was created, the sales and base and net cost dollars for that given date for that item. So that would be a consolidation at item level. Not going to customer level, it's a summary. How many you had on hand, how many you moved that day. By the way, this is and these are standard sales. So 1 for that date in my test data. We also have the average cost, manufacturer list, net base, list price. All those things are captured in there. But this PTF, what it does is if you must enter at least one definition of what the item is, either an item number, a category, a sales class, a product class. It must have a warehouse to know which warehouse to look for. I think for some people that will default anyway. If I put in, for instance, this date range, the month of June for 2022, and press enter, it goes out and looks at all the movement records or all the activity for this given item between those dates and summarizes the sales dollars, base cost, net cost, profit, base profit, net profit, and the resulting profit percentage that comes from that. That's okay, and that's kind of nice if you're diagnosing. I think a better or another alternative, you can also restrict by category, sales class, or product class. So let's just show you, if I do a sales class, I'll press F4 here to select, and I'll come down here and grab just the first class that I see. And it's going to take a few seconds here. In my timing on my system, which is a fairly slow system, about 20 seconds to return a value. It's all that's contingent on the date range you put in, and if you do category, obviously that's a lot more records it has to process and look through. But so here we can see total sales dollars for the month of June for this entire sales class, the base, the profit, etc. So that's pretty much what we wanted to show here for this particular segment. But remember, the inventory snapshot, good place to go look up things historically by date, and we've added this functionality to this particular screen. Now there is another function in Works that we will show during this presentation, or another segment in this presentation that shows a little more detail about how you can do some other things besides just this screen. But anyway, that's what we wanted to show for this section. Let's move along.